All right. Welcome to another deep dive
Yeah,
into the world of fitness. And today we're talking all about single-digit body fat,
right.
right? I'm Mark.
I'm Karina.
And, if you are really serious about transforming your body, I highly recommend checking out this YouTube channel I follow called Fitness Motivator.
Oh, yeah, they're great.
They break down complex fitness concepts into really easy-to-understand strategies. And they have a ton of videos on achieving single-digit body fat.
Hmm.
So if that's something you're interested in, hit that subscribe button.
Yes, definitely.
But for now, let's unpack what it really takes to achieve this goal.
Right. And I think one of the biggest misconceptions is that people think they need to shrink themselves to get really lean.
Yeah, just cutting calories and disappearing.
Exactly. But that's not what we're after. We want to transform your body composition, not just make you smaller.
Right.
So that's where lifting weights becomes absolutely critical.
So even when the goal is fat loss, we still got to hit the weights.
More than the gotta hit the weights, it's essential. Because when you restrict calories to lose fat, your body can tap into both fat and muscle for energy. Lifting weights signals to your body that you need that muscle mass.
Like, hey, these muscles are important. Don't even think about touching them.
Exactly. So it preferentially burns fat for energy. Plus, the more muscle you have, the higher your metabolic rate, meaning you burn more calories even at rest.
So it's not just about looking toned. It's about changing how our body functions.
Precisely. And when it comes to lifting, focus on compound exercises like squats, deadlifts, bench presses, overhead presses.
Okay.
These work multiple muscle groups at once, burning more calories than isolation exercises.
Gotcha. So efficiency is key here.
Exactly. Plus, they mimic natural movement patterns, making them more functional for everyday life.
Okay, that makes sense.
Huh.
Now, lifting weights can be intimidating for some people.
Definitely.
But remember, Fitness Motivator has tons of videos showing proper form and creating workout routines for all levels.
That's a great point.
So check it out. Now, what about activity outside the gym?
That brings us to our next strategy. Finding that sweet spot for overall physical activity.
Okay.
You don't want to be too sedentary, but you also don't want to overdo it and risk burning out.
So there's a Goldilocks zone for movement, too.
Exactly. If you're constantly on the go, your body produces more cortisol as a stress hormone that can hinder fat loss.
Okay.
On the other hand, if you're glued to your desk all day, you're missing out on all the calorie burning and metabolic benefits of movement.
So balance is key. What's a good target for daily activity?
I like to think in terms of step counts. Aim for 8,000 to 12,000 steps per day.
Oh, that's a good way to think about it.
Huh?
Actually, it's funny you mentioned step counts because I recently got this new fitness tracker.
Oh, yeah.
And this thing is more sophisticated than my phone, I swear.
Oh, wow.
I'm half expecting it to start predicting the weather soon.
Well, let's hope it doesn't start sending you ads based on your activity level.
Oh, it probably already is. But seriously, we got to find sustainable ways to move our bodies. Incorporate activities you actually enjoy.
Yeah, for sure. Whether it's walking, hiking, dancing, anything to get you moving.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, we've talked about lifting and overall activity, but we can't forget about the fuel that powers all of this.
Right. Nutrition.
Yes. What should we be eating to reach single-digit body fat?
Prioritize whole, unprocessed foods. Lean proteins, fruits, veggies, whole grains, healthy fats.
So it's not just calories in, calories out. It's about giving our bodies the right building blocks.
Exactly. Crash diets and restrictive eating aren't sustainable, and they often lack essential nutrients and can mess with your metabolism.
And who wants to live on lettuce and water forever?
Right. It's about finding a balance
Yeah.
that nourishes your body
Okay.
and supports your goals. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room when it comes to fat loss.
The calorie deficit.
You said it, but it's not as scary as it sounds. It simply means consuming fewer calories than your body burns.
So how do we do this without obsessing over every single calorie?
Focus on making gradual adjustments. Instead of drastic cuts, swap processed foods for whole, nutrient-dense options.
So instead of chips, I grab some carrots and hummus.
Exactly. Or instead of that sugary soda, choose water or unsweetened tea.
Right. So smarter choices, not deprivation.
Exactly. And you don't have to be perfect every day. It's about consistency over perfection.
Okay. Good advice. So how much of a deficit are we aiming for?
A good starting point is a deficit of 250 to 500 calories per day.
Okay.
This should lead to about 0.5 to 1% of body weight loss per week.
Okay, so a good benchmark. We can always adjust from there.
Absolutely. Now, there's another crucial aspect we often overlook, the duration of our dieting phase.
Okay, so how long should we be in a calorie deficit?
I recommend 8 to 12 weeks.
Why is that? Wouldn't staying in a deficit longer lead to faster results?
Not necessarily. Prolonged dieting can lead to diet fatigue.
Okay.
Your metabolism slows down, you feel hungrier, cravings intensify.
Oh, wow.
You might even experience mood swings and low
So
energy.
basically our body is saying, I'm done with this.
Exactly. And if you push through that for too long, you risk burning out and rebounding with weight gain later.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like pushing yourself too hard in any area of life.
Exactly. We need to be strategic
Okay.
and prioritize long-term sustainability.
So how do we combat this fatigue and make sure it doesn't sabotage our efforts?
That's where planned breaks come in. And I'm not talking about weekend indulgences. I mean, strategically incorporating maintenance phases after each dieting phase.
Okay, tell me more about these maintenance phases. Why are they so important?
Think about training for a marathon. You wouldn't run at full speed every single day, right?
Absolutely not.
You need rest days to recover and grow stronger.
Yeah,
Your body needs breaks from dieting, too,
gotcha.
to prevent burnout and maintain long-term progress.
So these maintenance phases are like our rest days.
Precisely. You increase your calories back to your maintenance level,
Okay,
which is the amount you need to maintain your current weight.
okay. And how long should these maintenance phases be?
I recommend aiming for at least 2/3 of the duration of your dieting phase.
Wow, okay.
So if you dieted for 12 weeks, you'd aim for at least 8 weeks of maintenance.
Okay, that's a significant chunk of time.
Yeah,
But I'm starting to see how this approach is more sustainable in the long run.
exactly. These breaks solidify progress, reset your metabolism, and prevent you from feeling restricted.
Gotcha. Okay, so we've got the dieting phase and the maintenance phase, but how do we track our progress along the way?
That brings us to our next strategy, tracking your progress and making adjustments. The easiest way to do this is by weighing yourself regularly.
So hopping on the scale isn't always a bad thing.
Not at all. It can be helpful if you use it as a tool. Weigh yourself at least twice a week,
Okay,
preferably first thing in the morning after using the restroom.
right, because our weight can fluctuate throughout the day.
Exactly. Now, what if we're not losing weight as quickly as we'd like?
That's where things can get frustrating.
Mm.
What should we do?
It's time to make some adjustments. You could reduce your calorie intake by another 100 to 200 calories per day, or increase your physical activity levels.
So it's not a set it and forget it approach.
Nope. It's about tweaking and refining as you go.
Okay, and it's not just about the number on the scale.
Right. Pay attention to how your clothes fit, how you feel, your energy levels.
Yeah, those are all important indicators too.
Absolutely. Now I have to ask, what about those cravings? Those late night whispers for pizza and ice cream? How do we deal with those?
Yeah, good question. I think everyone struggles with that at some point.
Absolutely. We'll dive into those strategies in part 2 of our deep dive.
Can't wait. This has been really insightful. I'm already feeling more empowered to tackle this single-digit body fat goal.
I'm glad to hear that. And remember, achieving this goal is about so much more than just aesthetics.
Yeah.
It's about pushing your limits, building discipline, and creating a lifestyle that supports your well-being.
Absolutely, I love that.
Picking up right where we left off, let's tackle those cravings.
Yes, please.
Mhm.
Because I think a lot of people just assume strict dieting means constant battles with cravings.
Yeah, it's a common concern. But remember, we're aiming for a sustainable lifestyle, not just survival on willpower.
Right.
And one powerful strategy is making sure you're eating enough protein and fiber.
Because they help us feel fuller for longer.
Exactly. They stabilize blood sugar levels, preventing those energy crashes that trigger cravings.
Oh, yeah.
You know how you feel after a meal heavy in refined carbs?
Yeah.
You get that quick energy spike,
Uh-huh.
and then the crash.
And then you're running for the cookie jar.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I know that feeling.
So we're back to those lean proteins, veggies, and fruits.
Okay.
And don't be afraid to get creative in the kitchen.
Oh, yeah.
Experiment with different spices and herbs to keep your meals interesting.
Right, because if your food is boring, you're more likely to crave those off-limits treats.
Absolutely.
It's like tricking your taste buds into thinking they're having something indulgent.
Exactly. Another game changer is practicing mindful eating. Okay, so instead of scarfing down our food,
Right.
we slow down and savor each bite.
Yeah, put away your phone, turn off the TV, and just focus on the experience of eating.
So it's like a meditation with food.
You could say that. By eating mindfully, you become more aware of your body's signals.
Okay.
When you're actually hungry, when you're satisfied, and when you've had enough.
So we can avoid overeating and those cravings.
Exactly. And I think it's also important to remember that cravings can sometimes be our body's way of telling us it needs something specific.
Yeah, like what do you mean by that?
So a craving for something sweet might indicate a need for more carbs, while a craving for something salty might mean you need more electrolytes.
Oh, so it's like our body's sending us a message we need to decipher.
Precisely. Listen to your body and try to identify the underlying need. Sometimes just drinking more water can satisfy a craving.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes we mistake thirst for hunger.
Absolutely.
Now, even with all these strategies, sometimes those cravings win and we indulge. What's the best way to handle those slip-ups?
Don't beat yourself up. It happens to everyone. Just get back on track as soon as possible.
Right. Progress, not perfection.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's talk about the practical side of things. Life gets busy. How can we make this whole process more manageable?
Planning is key. Meal prepping can save you a ton of time and stress.
Yeah, having healthy meals ready to go makes it less tempting to reach for those quick and easy but less nutritious options.
For sure. You can also try incorporating more movement into your daily routine.
Okay, like what?
Take the stairs instead of the elevator walk or bike to work.
Oh, yeah?
Do some stretches while watching TV.
So finding those little pockets of time.
Right, it all adds up.
And be kind to ourselves, right?
Absolutely. We're all human.
Hmm.
If you miss a workout or have an unplanned indulgence, don't dwell on it.
Just get back on track.
Exactly.
Okay, so long-term vision, not letting those little bumps discourage us.
Now I think it's time to shift our focus to the mental aspect of this journey.
Okay, the mental game.
Because achieving single-digit body fat requires mental strength as much as physical effort.
So how can we master this mental game?
One of the most powerful tools is setting realistic goals.
Okay.
Instead of aiming for a drastic transformation overnight, focus on making small, sustainable changes.
So instead of saying, I want to lose 20 pounds in a month,
Right.
it's more like I want to lose 1 to 2 pounds per week.
Exactly. Those small wins build momentum
Okay.
and keep you motivated.
So it's like climbing a mountain.
Yeah.
You take it one step at a time.
Exactly. And don't forget to acknowledge those wins no matter how small.
Oh, yeah. Celebrate those victories.
Yes. It reinforces positive behavior and keeps you focused.
And having a strong support system can make a big difference, too.
For sure.
Share your goals with friends or family who can encourage you.
Absolutely.
And remember that Fitness Motivator YouTube channel has a great online community.
Oh, that's right.
So if you're looking for like-minded individuals who are on a similar journey, definitely check them out.
Yeah, surrounding yourself with supportive people is so important.
Absolutely. Now, what about motivation? How do we stay motivated when things get tough?
One of my favorite strategies is to find your why.
Okay, my why.
Why is this goal important to you? Is it to improve your health? Boost your confidence? Connect to that deeper purpose and let it fuel you.
So it's more than just wanting to look good. It's about connecting to something deeper.
Exactly. Something that truly matters to you.
Yeah, that unshakable belief.
Now, as we wrap up this part, I want to leave you with one final thought.
Okay, I'm listening.
This journey is not just about physical transformation.
Okay.
It's also about mental and emotional growth.
Tell me more about that.
This process demands discipline, resilience, self-belief. It pushes you to confront your limits and discover a strength you may not have known you had.
Wow, so we're becoming the best version of ourselves.
Exactly. And those lessons learned will extend far beyond fitness.
So it's like a ripple effect.
Yeah, transforming not just our bodies, but our minds and lives.
I love that. Now, I'm curious, what else can we expect as we continue this deep dive?
In Part 3, we'll explore how to break through plateaus, manage expectations, and navigate the long-term maintenance of those hard-earned results.
Okay, I'm ready. Let's break through those walls. Okay, so we're back for the final part of our deep dive into single-digit body fat.
Yes, we are.
We've talked about a lot, from lifting weights and staying active
Right.
to managing those cravings and building that mental resilience.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's time to talk about those plateaus.
Mm-hmm.
When you're working so hard and then your progress stalls.
Right.
How do we break through those? What's the secret?
Well, first, it's important to remember that plateaus are a natural part of the process.
Okay.
Our bodies are really good at adapting, so eventually they adjust to our training and nutrition.
So it's like our body's saying, okay, we figured this out, time for a new challenge.
Exactly. So we need to shake things up to keep challenging our systems.
So how do we shake things up? What can we do?
Well, one strategy is to adjust your training variables. If you've been doing the same routine for weeks, try changing the exercises, increasing the weight, or shortening your rest periods.
So it's all about keeping our bodies guessing.
Exactly. You can also adjust your calorie intake.
Okay.
Like if you've been in a calorie deficit for a while, try incorporating a refeed day.
Okay. A refeed day, what is that?
It's where you increase your calories slightly for a day,
Okay.
This can help boost your metabolism and prevent your body from adapting to a lower calorie intake.
So we don't want our bodies to get too comfortable.
Exactly. And of course, consistency is key.
Right.
Don't get discouraged if you don't see results right away.
Yeah.
Just stick with the plan and trust the process.
Yeah. Patience is key. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Right.
Now, I think another thing people struggle with is managing expectations, especially when they're first starting out.
Yeah, for sure. People see those before and after photos on social media and they think they should get results just as fast.
Yeah, right. Exactly. But we all know social media isn't always reality.
It's so important to remember that everyone's body is different.
Mhm.
And there's no one-size-fits-all timeline, genetics, age, activity level. They all play a role.
So we shouldn't be comparing ourselves to others.
No, focus on your own journey and be patient with yourself.
Yeah, celebrate your own progress. And I think it's also important to remember that maintaining single-digit body fat is an ongoing thing, right?
It is. It's not a destination. It's a lifestyle.
So what does that look like? How do we make this a sustainable part of our lives?
Well, it's about consistently making healthy choices, staying active, and prioritizing your well-being.
Okay, so it becomes a way of life.
Exactly.
All right, so for those listening who are ready to embark on this journey to single-digit body fat, what are the key takeaways?
Okay, well, first remember to prioritize your health and well-being.
Right.
This isn't about punishing yourself. It's about nourishing your body and feeling your best.
It's about creating a positive relationship with our bodies.
Exactly. And then focus on building sustainable habits. Don't rely on quick fixes or extreme diets.
So no crash diets.
Right. Make gradual changes that you can stick with long term.
And it's all about finding what works for you. Right.
Absolutely. Everyone is different. So experiment, listen to your body, and find what feels good.
Okay, so personalize the approach.
And lastly, remember, it's a journey, not a race. There will be challenges along the way, but don't let them derail you.
Right, embrace the process.
Exactly.
Now, before we wrap up, I just want to remind everyone about that YouTube channel, Fitness Motivator.
Oh, yeah, they're great.
Seriously, if you're looking for more guidance and inspiration, go subscribe.
Yes, definitely.
All right, that's a wrap on our deep dive into single-digit body fat. We hope you learned a lot.
Yes, and feel empowered to achieve your fitness goals.
Remember, you got this. We'll see you on the next episode of The Deep Dive.